Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals. Alright, so today I'm going to be drinking an Everclear and Cheerwine for the first time, which as a whole I am very excited to do, as I'm curious to find out just how the mixed drink I'm going to be making today with Everclear and Cheerwine is actually going to be, and I'm curious to find out if this is going to be a good mixed drink or not as well. Will the combination of Everclear and Cheerwine be good, or will it be bad? I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out. And if I had to hazard a guess, this is probably going to be a pretty solid mixed drink. I personally think that Everclear is going to combine pretty well with the flavor of Cheerwine. I don't know anything for sure, but I'm thinking this is going to be a pretty solid experience, and I do hope it will be, because it is a nice day today. It's a little bit chilly, sun's going down, birds are chirping, there's no wind. It really is great drinking weather outside today, and it's a good day to have a new mixed drink outside, and hopefully a good mixed drink outside. And yeah, I'm hoping that this is going to be a good mixed drink, because I want to enjoy drinking some alcohol today, and I want some alcohol in general. It's been about 18 hours since the last time I had any alcohol, and I definitely want some, I will acknowledge. Looking forward to this experience without a doubt. But before we go any further into the video, I do first off need to talk about what Cheerwine is as a soda, as I realize some of y'all watching may have never heard of Cheerwine before. So what is Cheerwine? Well, Cheerwine is a regionally available cherry-flavored soda that was first invented in 1917 in North Carolina. And while Cheerwine over the years didn't gain the same notoriety as Coca-Cola or Pepsi by any means, it nonetheless did grow to a decent degree. And now Cheerwine is available all across the southeast United States. From Maryland through the Carolinas up until the tip of Florida, Cheerwine is available, and Cheerwine is notable. And while Cheerwine can be more difficult than not to find outside of the southeast United States, it is nonetheless available at specialty shops in a lot of different areas. And that's what Cheerwine is more so than not. Yeah, it's a cherry-flavored soda that was first invented in North Carolina, and it's a cherry-flavored soda that today is regionally available across the southeast United States. That's what it is. And as somebody from North Carolina, Cheerwine is a pretty notable beverage to me, making me even more excited for this experience than I might otherwise be. I do suppose, without further ado, I should probably go ahead and cover everything I'm going to be using for this video today. Of course, I have my Everclear 151 proof alcohol to be precise, which has an ABV of 75.5%. Of course, as far as my Cheerwine goes, I have a little bottle of Cheerwine right here that is not made with real sugar. It's instead made with high fructose corn syrup. Cheerwine does have a variety available made with real sugar, not high fructose corn syrup, but that's not what I have with me today. And then, of course, I have my glass I'm going to be mixing in everything into as well. This is my Crown Royale glass, to be precise. I do suppose, without further ado, though, I should probably go ahead and grab myself a quick thumbnail, and then I should probably go ahead and actually get to mixing my first ever Everclear and Cheerwine. Now, shouldn't I? So let's grab a quick thumbnail real quick. Got to do it before I pour anything out of the bottle of Cheerwine. So let's grab a quick thumbnail if I can. Let's see. Well, hopefully one of those will do. Hopefully one of those will work as the thumbnail of the video. We will find out. Without further ado, let's go ahead and put my camera back, and let's go ahead and get to mixing my drink if I possibly can. Is this far enough back. I'll put it a little bit further back, just like that, just so y'all can see everything that's going on. Let's get my glass right here. Let's get my Everclear all opened up, and let's go ahead and pour myself. How much do I want for my first drink? Probably not too much. Probably not too much for my first drink. I think I'm gonna be able to get at least 2 drinks out of this bottle. So I'm gonna pour a little bit in my first drink, and if I want more for my second drink, I'm gonna have more. Let's go ahead and pour some Everclear in. And go with a little bit more than that. And I'm thinking that will do for my first drink. That might not look like a lot, but that's probably right around 1 standard drink if I had to hazard a guess. Let's go ahead and get my Cheerwine all opened up now. And I'm gonna go and smell it real quick. Ooh, lots of noise. Getting a very nice sort of, I'd have to say, cherry, slightly... Oh man, it was slightly spicy when I first opened it up, but getting very much out of a sweet, slightly syrupy, sort of cherry sort of scent. A little bit of brown sugar, a little bit of molasses. Overall, a very good smell if I do say so myself. Let's go ahead and pour it in, and we can see we've got a very nice wine color coming from the Cheerwine. Of course, there's a reason it's called Cheerwine, and that's because it kind of looks like wine when you pour it in a glass. I don't know if that's the actual reason, honestly. It might be, it might not be. I have no idea. Either way, it does look a little bit like wine. It's got that burgundy-esque color going on, if you ask me. Let's go and grab my camera and put it back where it was now that I've poured a drink. And let's go ahead and just smell this real quick. Am I smelling any Everclear? I am smelling a little bit of Everclear. There's definitely a little bit of an Everclear scent in there, without a doubt. Not too much, but it's definitely in there. Will Cheerwine cover up the flavor of Everclear to the fullest extent, or will this just be a mid-mixed drink? I hope it's going to be really good, because I don't mind Cheerwine one bit. I quite enjoy Cheerwine, and while I've never used Cheerwine as a mixer, I really do want it to be good in this scenario. Will it actually be good, or will it not? I don't know, but let's go ahead and take a sip, and let's go ahead and find out. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying. Okay, first sip, I can definitely tell there's alcohol in there. The flavor of Everclear is not indistinguishable by any means. And the flavor of the Cheerwine is not covering up the Everclear to a degree where you can't tell that there's any alcohol in there. But it is covering up enough where you don't mind the alcohol being in there. It's just there. It's not causing any sort of roughness. It's not causing any sort of unpleasant flavors. The flavor of the Cheerwine is still the most intense. It is still the best flavor in the mixed drink, and it is doing a decent job of covering up the flavor of the Everclear without covering it up entirely by any means. This is definitely more carbonated and more heavily flavored, in my opinion, than something like, let's say, a Red Bull. And due to that elevated level of carbonation that's more on the level of something like, let's say, a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi, I do feel like that is part of the reason why the Everclear flavor is not being entirely covered up, but is being made very mild and not rough kind of thing. When I previously drank an Everclear and Red Bull, I found it to be just very mid, in all honesty. One, because the flavor of Red Bull is just very mild, and the carbonation in Red Bulls is very mild as well, kind of thing. And just the combination of those two factors just didn't really make for the most pleasant experience in the world. And then I've also tried an Everclear and Fanta before, and I just didn't find the Fanta to be carbonated enough to cover up the flavor of the Everclear to the fullest degree, even though there was a strong enough flavor kind of thing. You really do need the combination of good carbonation with good flavor to make a good mixed drink with any significant amount of Everclear. And Cheerwine, in my opinion, has that exact mixture. It has the carbonation, it has the flavor. It might not have as quite of an overwhelming flavor as something like, let's say, Coca-Cola or Pepsi, hence why it doesn't cover up the flavor of Everclear quite to the same degree, but the Cheerwine is doing a very good job in my personal opinion, and just based off the first couple sips, I gotta admit, not too bad of a mixed drink if I do say so myself. Yeah. I'm not minding it. I'm not minding this mixed drink one bit. The overall flavor I'm getting from the Cheerwine is that of a cherry. It's like a very mild cherry, slightly spicy, yet at the same time not spicy. Like, it's hard to say. There's not like a creaminess to it. There's not like a citrus spike to it. But it's got like a little bit of like spice, kind of like where you're tasting it and you're like, oh, there should be like a little bit of a hit there, and then there's no hit kind of thing. So it's like spice without spice. I don't know how to really explain that. Maybe it's just savoriness. I'm not sure. But there's that sort of cherry flavor, and then there's like a hit, but not a hit of spice kind of thing. And then under that, you get like brown sugar, molasses, a little bit of caramel, and a little bit of like a sort of like high fructose corn syrupy, sort of sugary taste, of course, as well. But yeah, overall, Cheerwine, I gotta admit, solid. I don't mind it. I don't mind drinking Cheerwine on its own. And I, excuse me, that wasn't the alcohol, that was just my throat. I don't mind drinking an Everclear and Cheerwine either. I enjoy Cheerwine on its own. It's not like my regular go-to drink by any means, but it is a drink that I do enjoy having whenever I do have it. And I'm enjoying it mixed with Everclear as well. Yeah. Can I complain? No, I can't complain. I have no complaints on my behalf, frankly put. No complaints on my behalf at all. Cheerwine and Everclear, based off the first drink at least, which I did not go, as light on the Everclear with as I honestly expected I was going to. I did add a little bit more Everclear than maybe I needed to, especially since I am going to be having a second drink after I finish off the first drink. But yeah, no, this is a solid mixed drink. You know, Cheerwine, cherry, little spice hit, but not any hit really, and then like sort of like brown sugar, molasses, a little bit of sort of high fructose corn syrup. You know, overall, solid soda, and that flavor with the carbonation is covering up the taste of the Everclear. No, this is a solid beverage. Yeah, Everclear and Cheerwine. Is it a drink I would have again based off this first mixed drink that I'm having today? At least. Based off this first mixed drink I'm having today? Yeah, I'd totally have this again. I would have no complaints on my behalf if I drank another one of these in the future. Is this something I could see myself routinely going for? Probably not, no, just because I don't tend to drink Cheerwine all that often. I will acknowledge I do enjoy my Cheerwine when I have it, but I just don't drink it all that often. But, you know, if I happen to have a bottle of Everclear and a bottle of Cheerwine on me, will I mind drinking more Cheerwine and Everclears or Everclears and Cheerwines in the future? No, I won't mind it one bit. I don't think I'll mind it one bit. Of course, I'm just talking based off the first drink. Maybe the second drink will change my opinion, but I gotta keep drinking to find out. Yeah, really not too bad. And as we're getting towards the bottom, I'm not finding the flavor of the Everclear to get any more intense or anything like that kind of thing. Or, okay, maybe it is getting a little bit more intense, but it's not hitting any harder per se. But what I can say is starting to hit harder as we're getting towards the bottom is the buzz I have going on right now, because I do have a little bit of a buzz starting to come on. There is a total of, and I'm sure the sugar is helping, but there is a total of 56 grams of sugar in this bottle of Cheerwine right here, and it also does contain caffeine as well. How much caffeine? I don't know if it says. It says 200 calories per bottle, 34 milligrams of sodium, 56 grams of sugar, all of which are added. That's 112% the daily value. Not a significant source of saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, fiber, vitamin D, calcium, iron, or POTAS. Oh man, that's kind of, and not a significant source of any of that. I can't believe this, you know what I'm saying? I can't believe this. How much caffeine is in this, though? Like, does it say how much caffeine is in this? I'm not sure. It does, however, on the side of the bottle say best when cold. Yes, best when cold. Absolutely, I can agree with that. I might have not added any ice to my drink, but this was in the fridge for an hour or two before the video, and it is a little bit chilly without a doubt. And it just says crafted cherry taste. Yes, that's exactly what it is, but how much caffeine is actually in this? I don't know. I'm gonna guess anywhere between 35 to 55 milligrams more than likely, as that tends to be what you see in like Pepsi and Coca-Cola and stuff like that. But I don't know anything for sure. It doesn't say how much caffeine is actually in it, from what I can tell at least. And I don't know how much caffeine is in Cheerwine. Honestly, I didn't even know Cheerwine had caffeine in it until I looked at the ingredients during this video. I thought it was like Sprite where there's no caffeine in it. Interesting, interesting. I feel like I got a burp. Nope, I think I'm okay. Yeah, overall, so far, so good. So far, so good when it comes to this mixed drink. No complaints. Yeah, gotta admit, while I'm not gonna say the Everclear entirely disappears into the flavor of Cheerwine like it does with some other sodas like Pepsi and Coca-Cola, it does disappear better than not. I would have to say it disappears not as well as Coca-Cola and Pepsi, but better than Fanta, Monster, and Red Bull, without a doubt, without a doubt. Well, let's go and get myself another drink going. I want another drink. I want some more alcohol. I got a nice buzz going. The sugar, the alcohol, the caffeine, and now the nicotine. You know, I gotta admit, solid buzz, solid buzz. Let's pour myself another drink. I'm gonna need more than that. I think that'll be just about right there. I think that'll be just about right there. So I'm gonna go with that amount, and I think the rest of this bottle should be getting used up with this next drink. Wow. I expected the rest of the bottle to be used up. This is only, what, 473 milliliters? 16 fluid ounces? So I expected the rest of the bottle to be getting used up, but no, I was wrong. Wow. You learn something new every day, I will acknowledge. You learn something new every day. No complaints. Got a second drink mixed up. Gonna get back to drinking in a minute. The sun is definitely going down now, though, and it is a bit chilly today. It was like 70 degrees like this morning. It's just been getting colder all day, and it's now in like the mid-40s. And I'm gonna grab my beanie real quick and my gaiter because I'm getting chilly. I'm getting cold, so I want my beanie and my gaiter, and I'm gonna put them on before I go ahead and get back to drinking. Always good to stay prepared for the cold weather. You never know when it's gonna happen, and I'm glad I'm prepared for the cold weather today. No complaints, no complaints. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Y'all know, gotta have all the cold weather gear on me. I even got some gloves in my backpack just in case I need them, which I don't think I do, but, you know, maybe I'll want them. Maybe I'll want them. Let's get back to drinking, though. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying. And as with the first drink, the second drink, very smooth, very easy. Definitely a little bit of Everclear kind of in the background of the taste. You can definitely tell there's alcohol in there, but the carbonation from the Cheerwine, the flavor of the Cheerwine just does a good enough job of covering up what's going on with the alcohol. And so as such, you don't really notice what's actually going on kind of thing. With the alcohol, that is, kind of thing. You can tell it's there, but it's not notable. It's not notable. And y'all know, I got the double hood on today. Only big ball of moves here, you know what I'm saying? Only big ball of moves here. Yeah. Is a Cheerwine and Everclear a solid mixed drink to enjoy on a day like today? I'd say so. I'd say it is. I would say a Cheerwine and Everclear is a solid mixed drink to enjoy on a day like today. Yeah, no complaints on my behalf. No complaints on my behalf at all. I'm gonna grab myself another little thumbnail. You know, gotta do it, gotta do it. Had to do it to him, you know what I'm saying? Yes, sir, yes, sir. Definitely the sugar is hitting, though, and I'm just feeling like I want to kind of sit back and relax. Like, I haven't drank any soda or had any, like, soda mixed drinks in the last couple days. And I really haven't been having a lot of sugar in the last couple days as well. So the sugar, because it's 56 grams of sugar. The sugar is absolutely hitting hard. Like, really, the alcohol isn't even the thing that's hitting me the hardest. Like, I am buzzed right now, like, no question. Like, I am buzzed. But I'm not, like, crazy buzzed. I just feel like I had, like, one standard drink, and I'm sure the other half a standard drink from, excuse me, what I've drank so far. Excuse me. Will hit as well. But, like, I'm buzzed from the alcohol, like, no question. Like, I'm definitely buzzed from the alcohol. But honestly, I feel like mainly buzzed from the sugar. Like, just the amount of sugar in Cheerwine is heavy. It's a good amount of sugar, not gonna lie, y'all. They should just sell a soda that's literally just sugar soda, and it's literally just a bottle filled to the brim with dry sugar. And they can call it sugar soda. And yeah, it's just pure, just straight sugar. Or they should just sell bottles of carbonated high fructose corn syrup with like 1,000 grams of sugar, or whatever the weight of 16 fluid ounces of high fructose corn syrup is. That would actually be hilarious if it was just carbonated high fructose corn syrup. Like, just straight high fructose corn syrup that's carbonated. That would be so gross. That would be so gross. I'm already not the biggest fan of high fructose corn syrup. I do prefer my real, legitimate cane sugar. Or, you know, if I have to, like beet sugar, I'll acknowledge. But carbonated high fructose corn syrup as an actual soda? That would be hilarious. That would be so funny. But yeah, no, genuinely, I really do feel like, I mean, like, the alcohol is hitting, and it's hitting hard. But honestly, I really do feel like the sugar is just hitting just as hard. The sugar is hitting just as hard as the alcohol is basically what I'm trying to say. I'm feeling quite buzzed right now, not just from the alcohol, but also just from the sheer amount of sugar in Cheerwine. It is some sweet stuff. Solid beverage. Gotta admit, solid drink. I ain't minding it. I ain't minding this beverage at all. Absolutely no complaints on my behalf, if I do say so myself. Yeah. Birds are chirping, sun's going down. It's a nice day. It's a nice day to enjoy some alcohol on. And I'm enjoying my alcohol today. A Cheerwine and Everclear is a solid mixed drink. And I will acknowledge, while it's not a mixed drink I would have all the time, just because Cheerwine is not a drink that I want all the time, it is nonetheless a beverage, a drink, that I wouldn't mind having again. What is the rating I would give a Cheerwine and Everclear? I'd give it a very solid 8 out of 10. I think a very solid 8 out of 10 is definitely deserving for what a Cheerwine and Everclear is, for what an Everclear and Cheerwine is. What's a good name for a Cheerwine and Everclear, though? Excuse me. Like, I could just take half of, I could just take half of, like, Everclear and Cheerwine. Like, I could do, like, Everwine or Cheerclear. I don't know which one would be better. Let me know in the comments which one's a better name for this mixed drink. Everclear or Cheerclear. Or, no, Everclear or Cheerclear? Everwine or Cheerclear? Or Cheer Ever? And Wine Clear. I'm kind of feeling like Cheerclear. I'm kind of feeling like, yo, bartender, pass me a Cheerclear or an Everwine. Yo, bartender, pass me an Everwine. I don't know, Everwine just kind of slips off the tongue better, I feel like Cheerclear, I don't know, it just doesn't really slip off the tongue as well, but Everwine kind of does. And it's also just kind of a funny name because it just makes it sound like it's everlasting wine. It's like, what is it? It's like the infinite, it's like the, what is it? I've seen memes and it's like, oh my God, you ate the infinite, like, brownie where you're always gonna be, where it's the infinite brownie or something like that. I don't know if what I said made any sense at all, but I've been seeing some memes and I don't know. I feel like Everwine is kind of like the good name for this drink, low key. Yeah, no complaints. Everclear and Cheerwine, solid. And if you're from North Carolina, this is a drink you gotta have. That's what I'm saying. This is a drink, this is a beverage you gotta have if you're from North Carolina. Yo, Cheerwine, sponsor me. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. While I'm not gonna say that I can see this drink becoming a North Carolina standard drink available at every bar in North Carolina, I can see this drink becoming available at every bar in North Carolina. Everclear and Cheerwine, this is a mixed drink that should be available at every single bar in North Carolina. It should be in the legal doctrine in North Carolina that if you have a bar, you gotta offer Cheerwine and Everclears, whether the Cheerwine is coming from the tap or whether it's from a bottle, doesn't matter. You gotta offer an Everclear and Cheerwine if you're a bar in North Carolina. That's what I'm saying. It's gotta be in the legalese. It's gotta be in the documentation somewhere in there. And if you ain't selling Cheerwine and Everclear and you're a bar in North Carolina, what are you even doing? That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Yes, sir. No complaints, no complaints. I'm enjoying my beverage, and got a little bit more Cheerwine to go. Not too much by any means, but a little bit nonetheless. Yeah, it's a solid 8 out of 10. This is a solid 8 out of 10. I don't mind this mixed drink at all. In all honesty, it's pretty solid if I do say so myself. Man. Excuse me. I'm buzzed. It's got Everclear in it. I'm buzzed. I am quite buzzed. No complaints, no complaints. Just chilling, just vibing, just enjoying my drink, and just enjoying the day. Sun's almost all the way down. We're very much into dusk right now, I'd have to say. You know, dusk, No, Twilight. Well, no, wait. Because there's dawn, there's dusk, and then there's twilight. But what's the difference between dusk and twilight? Because I was about to make a Twilight joke. Like Twilight, the books and movies. I was about to make a Twilight joke. But then I was like, wait, no. Dusk is not Twilight. But then there's Twilight New Dawn. Or is there? Or is that a different book? I don't know. I've never read Twilight before. But I have watched all of the Twilight movies. I'd say regrettably so. And when I went into it, it was regrettably so. But I ended up actually enjoying them. But I didn't watch the Twilight movies like in any serious fashion at all. I sat there on a couch binge watching Twilight and just laughing my ass off the entire time at how bad the movies are. I was like, oh my god, these are so funny. I was like, bro, like, they gotta stop marketing Twilight as being like a romance. They gotta start marketing Twilight as being a comedy. Because if you go into Twilight thinking that it's a comedy, it's so funny because it's just so ridiculous and so stupid on so many levels. And genuinely, Twilight, the movies, are better comedies than they are like romance, vampire, werewolf, whatever they are. I don't even know what Twilight is really, but the movies are hilarious from a comedy standpoint. It's just like you look at scenes and you're like, this is so awkward, and it's so funny because it is just that awkward. That type of comedy, that type of humor in movies is generally not what I go for when it comes to comedy kind of thing. When it comes to comedy in movies, I generally prefer my action comedies. Hot Fuzz, like let's say Everything Everywhere All at Once, or something like, let's say, Scott Pilgrim, or Shaun of the Dead, or, oh man, there's another movie, action comedy, what's the name of it? Can't remember. But yeah, movies like that with a lot of action comedy, I am a big fan of. I really love that sort of stuff. But Twilight, it's not a comedy, but it totally should be marketed as such, because Twilight, they're horrible movies, or insanely successful, horrible movies. But they're just so funny to watch as comedies. They're just so hilarious. And so I was just sitting there watching them, just cracking up every 2 seconds, going, this sucks so much, but it's so funny. I do need to try watching some more action comedy and stuff like that kind of thing. Like, I haven't watched a lot of like Jackie Chan films and stuff like that kind of thing. And I've heard a lot of those are really funny action comedy as well. And I definitely need to try watching some of those and seeing what they're all about and everything like that kind of thing. And I think that might have to be something I do in the future, low-key. I do like my action comedy, not gonna lie, y'all. I'm not really one for slapstick per se, but like action comedy, totally just so banger. As said, like Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Shaun of the Dead, bangers, bangers. Some of my favorite movies of all time. Love them, love them. Excuse me. Just had a little bit of a burp, excuse me. Ooh, I'm buzzed. And I feel like I got a burp. That went down like weird because I felt like I had to burp when I was taking the sip, but no, I'm all good. I do still feel like I got a burp though, but I think I'm all good. I think I'm all good. I think I got like 1 or 2 more sips left of my second drink, and then I've got a little bit more Cheerwine to go after that. So I think I'll pour myself an absolutely tiny third drink, but it's gonna be tiny just because it's all the Everclear. And not all the Everclear I have left. I have plenty of Everclear left. I have like over half a bottle left. But that's all the Cheerwine I have with me today. So I think I'm just going to have another little drink after I finish off this second drink I have. Yeah. It's a good day. It's a good day. I got no complaints. I got no complaints. I'm feeling warm. My hands are kind of cold, but I'm feeling like warm right now. Like I'm wearing thermals because, as I said, it was like 70 degrees this morning. It's just been going down in temperature all day. Like it's a low of 37 tonight. Like it's literally going down, what, 40 degrees? Like 70, it was like 71, 72 degrees this morning. and then it rained, and it instantly went down like 15 degrees, and it's just been going down in temperature ever since. So that's like a temperature change of from 70 to 37. That's like a temperature change of like, that's like 35 degrees in one day. That's a pretty solid temperature change, like 35 degrees in one day. That's a lot. That's a lot. That is a big temperature change. 35 degrees in one day. But it ain't nothing too crazy. Excuse me. Second drink, very solid if I do say so myself. Let's get another one going. I want another one, so I'm gonna have another one. So I'm gonna have another one, because I want some more alcohol. Just a little bit of Everclear this time, not much. More than that. That might have been a bit too much, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I hope this third drink's gonna be solid. We might be finding the limits of how good Cheerwine is with Everclear with this one. That was more in the bottle than I thought. All right, no biggie. Bet. My hands are getting cold. I'm actually glad I brought my gloves out, but I ain't gonna grab one. Got a little bit more. Hang on. There we go. Excuse me. Let's take my first sip of my third drink and find out how it is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more Everclear than the last ones, but still very solid. I gotta admit. No complaints. Yeah. Overall, I gotta admit, Everclear and Cheerwine, is it a solid mixed drink? So it is. Everclear and Cheerwine is very solid. And I officially dubbed this mixed drink the Everwine. I officially dub it the Everwine. What I'm drinking today is an Everwine. I feel like there is a better name for this mixed drink than that, though. I really do. I'll call it the Jones Special Alcoholic Cherry Flavored Mixed Drink Soda thing. Pull out that mixed drink name at a bar next time you go to a bar. Be like, I want the Jones Special Everclear Cheerwine mixed drink soda thing. Ask for that mixed drink in specific and see what the bartender's response will be. If they know what you mean, they watch this video. Shout out, yo. Shout out. And if they know what you mean, either that or they... Wait. Yeah. Well, the name kind of tells you what it actually is, so... Yeah. Next time you go to a bar, ask for an Everwine. If they don't know what you mean, then honestly, totally understandable, because I just invented this mixed drink today. This is a new invention of me. Of mine. Cheerwine first invented in 1917. The Everwine first invented in 2026, baby. That's what I'm saying. Yes, sir. Ooh, yeah, that Cheerwine. Not that Cheerwine. The Everclear is definitely hitting a little bit more. I might have poured a little bit too much Everclear into my Cheerwine with this third drink, but ain't no biggie, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no biggie. Ooh, solid. Well, as said, This is a solid 8 out of 10. This is a solid 8 out of 10. Definitely a beverage I would have again. Not a beverage I would have all the time. But this is definitely a drink that I would have at the Cheerwine Festival in North Carolina. That's right. Cheerwine, they run their own festival in North Carolina. Every year, there's a Cheerwine Festival. I don't know what the dates are for this year. But I need to stop by eventually. I've never been at the Cheerwine Festival. I've never stopped by the Cheerwine Festival. I need to stop by low-key. Cheerwine, fly me out, yo. I don't need to be flown out. Just drive me out. I should stop by the Cheerwine Festival eventually, like high-key. I feel like that would be pretty banger, not gonna lie. But yeah, no, Everclear and Cheerwine, a solid mixed drink. And this would be a solid mixed drink to not only have at the Cheerwine Festival, but just to have in general on any normal day that I'm wanting some Cheerwine on, frankly put. This is not a mixed drink that personally I would want all the time. Cheerwine is just not a soda that I want all the time. But I certainly have not minded having this experience today, and blessed I say that I have enjoyed having this experience. I have enjoyed having this experience today. Cheerwine and Everclear, solid. Everclear and Cheerwine, solid. Yeah, 8 out of 10, no complaints on my behalf. Thoroughly enjoyed this experience, and I hope you guys have thoroughly enjoyed watching this video. If you guys have, like, subscribe, check out everything in the description down below. I think that's all I wanted to say. So to the next one, stay safe and peace, and have a great one.